Show it. You were going to demonstrate some things for us.
Okay.
Is that your Kesed HaSofer?
Yeah, sort of. Well, I mean, that is really, but yeah. I've actually
could
got
also
one.
mean a bag.
Yeah, I've
pouch.
got one. I've got like a bronze
Oh,
or a
nice.
brass. Yeah, it's amazing.
So what are we doing here?
Well, I thought I would just try and write some letters. If that's all right with you.
Oh, that's great.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
I didn't cut this very well, actually. It's not behaving the way.
And this is a goose feather?
This is goose. It's not turkey. I actually prefer turkey.
I heard that turkey is the best.
Oh yeah, this is not to stay in the recording. I'm making very bad letters with this.
So I heard turkey is the best quill. Is that?
Ugh, okay, yeah, no, you're not keeping that. Oh, here, I've got some here. I prefer turkey because the feather is really thick, and the thing is that, I should have brought a bigger one as well. The thing is that you see all these surgical scars.
Okay.
So my hand got crushed.
Oh no.
No, it's part of my fruit journey. It's fine. It turns out, but so that's why I used to be a gemologist, and then I stopped being a gemologist because I couldn't handle tweezers anymore because my hand was crushed in a car accident.
Oh no.
And I had to have my hand put back together.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. That was put back together.
So now she's faster, stronger, better. We have the
bionic
technology. Right, exactly. So no, that's terrible. So that's
Can you tell us what all these tools are?
Well, yeah. Well, these are just different kinds of coolnesses, right? Like
No,
these are
but
just
what's
different.
this? That's not a coolness, is it?
It is. Well, this is one that's
What?
usually, I forget the name
Is
of
that
this.
metal?
No, it's not. This is a particular kind of wood. I think it's ebony or something. This is.
Oh,
I got this
wow.
from an Arabic calligrapher supply store.
Oh, wow.
Because you get different. I'm going to use this one.
Now, would you be allowed to write a Torah scroll with this?
Yeah, you absolutely can because it's wood.
Okay. Just not metal.
Well, and there's a lot of scribes today that will use like metal pens that are basically like fountain pens.
Okay.
So they don't have to dip as much.
Okay.
And so they can write faster. So that they can get the Torah scrolls written faster.
So they are allowed to do that?
Only one authority, which was Gansfried, said that was okay. No one else says it's okay.
Are there Orthodox scribes who do that?
Yeah.
Really?
And I shouldn't have that disparaging tone in my voice because I shouldn't really judge them.
Okay.
But to me, it's a completely different thing. That's why they have to go. So they have to go through and put all the tugging on like later on with like basically like a little like art pen, like a felt pen kind of thing, because you can't make tagine with these pens, these metal pens that are basically like for writing, like for just
because they're not
fancy
fine
writing.
enough. Is that why?
They're not fine enough, but also you don't get the same like snap. You don't get the same flexibility, and you can't make it as thin, and you don't get the same snap to it. You can't use the spitz to make a proper letter. But economically, I don't judge them at all because see, this is so much better. Look at that.
So while you're doing this, talk about.
I still made the nose too short, though. Still an unacceptable letter.
Tell us why a robot can't do this.
A robot has no kavanah.
So as you're writing for a Torah scroll,
that's also not going on.
You have to have some level of intent, which a robot can't form.
Yes, you have to have intention about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and you have to have in mind, like it's a mitzvah, right? Like you don't, even though it's considered, depending on the list, it's the 613th mitzvah to write a Sefer Torah. You don't make a blessing over a Torah scroll before you start writing it, but you do because it's a long process. This is another argument as to why women should be able to do it is because it's not really time bound, is it? And also women are potential teachers of Torah, and that's actually what a Torah scroll is for, is to teach Torah.
Oh,
so But again, it depends on which authority that you're going to listen to.
Okay.
So try again.
There's a type of inscription we see in medieval manuscripts and codices where somebody comes along and writes,
there we go. That's better.
Nisiti hakulmus. and they write it over.
ECD.
I tried the pen. I tried the pen. I
Yeah.
tried the pen, and they'll write it over and over. And it's usually like in the flyleaf in the back page, the back blank page. Uh-oh.
Okay, well,
I guess that's the problem with wood.
it can be, yes. I didn't think I was being that. I didn't think I was being that tough on it. I was just being intense, like I am. Okay, well, I've got one left. It's fine.
And tell us what the plastic one is.
Well, the plastic one I really just got to experiment myself with art. As you can see, it's been stained red. I've never used this for Sofrut. In fact, I've never used any of these for Sofrut because I was trained on a feather. And I may be biased, but that's one of the reasons why Ashkenazi lettering looks different than Sephardi and Mizrahi and all the other lettering, Yemenite lettering, because the tools are different. And so each tool lends itself to different letter shapes and different sort of like angles and things like that. So I have collected these because I'm an aficionado, and I also care very much about different Scribal practice. And I also actually loan these out to people when I go and teach, and they, I said, "Do you want to try these? Do you want to try feathers?" And then they can see how hard it is actually, and that So this I've only ever
What would you
used.
even do with that?
This, you dip it in ink or paint or whatever, and you can still use it as a stylus. You can use it as basically a brush, or you can do like large letters. But I would only do this if it was like big calligraphy, as it were.
I see.
I would never use this on because one of the things that is a concern if you use metal or like this is basically acrylic, this plastic. Is that it will imprint, and that is actually another one of the rules, is that you're not allowed to like stamp in or imprint in any of the letters. They have to be written. So sorry, it took me like 3 olives to actually make a good olive.
No,
you see, but I changed styluses, right? Like I cut this earlier, but actually the slit down the center is off center. So so it's, one of my mentors, he, who obviously will remain nameless because he confided in me and Mark. He was like, "I'm not very good at cutting quills." And it's like, oh, wow, okay. That sucks. So he said he has to work really, really hard and cut them many, many, many times until he finally gets a good one. So he spends a large proportion of his time actually like making the tool correct so that he can actually make the right letters.
What do you do with the razor? Is that to erase letters and also to cut the quill?
This. So
No,
this.
I meant this thing.
Oh, this. Oh, this is literally like a quill knife.
Okay, that's to cut a quill.
Yeah, you can use it to cut a quill. It's got a blade here and it's got a blade here. So this is actually really more of a European tool that, because I don't know if you grew up calling like those little flip knives, right? Like a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Did you grow up calling it a pen knife?
I've heard that term.
Okay, well that's why. Because all small knives, especially ones that folded and went in your pocket, that was so that you could cut your pen. Because
I didn't know that. That's so
everyone
cool.
knew and everyone who was literate knew how to make a pen.
Wow.
Because you would make it out of
You'd grab a feather
usually.
and you'd make it. Wow. Yep. I didn't know that.
That's why it's called a pen knife.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And you can actually get them. You can get like Victorian ones and even older, like in like auction sites or eBay or whatever. And sometimes they're sterling silver, sometimes they're wood. It depends on how wealthy, right? And they have different size knives, and sometimes they have like a little tool to pull out. It's like a corkscrew kind of a tool to pull out all of the sort of like the stuff that's inside the feather. I can't remember what it's called. There's like lots of sort of little compartments in there that you have to pull out when you're cutting it, so that the ink doesn't end up getting caught in any of them and then blobbing out later on.
Ooh.
Yeah. So so it'll have 2 different size knives, and but this I used to actually make the slit down the center.
Okay.
And you can only use it once. Like you can only use one spot once.